welcome back to the channel. Welcome for those who are new to the channel to another word from the throne. The Lord had me cracking up with this word, you guys. He had me so much cracking up. He said certain things should be obvious, right? Because some people say that well, that's not in the Bible, and the Lord never said that. He showed me this. He said certain things supposed to be obvious. He said in Leviticus, he said, but for some that is asking and saying, oh, they're dying in the Bible, he said there is so much thing inside of the Bible that because of lack of that wisdom, we think it's not there. But he said, I asked him, and I began to laugh when I asked him. I said, why? I said, Lord, shouldn't it be obvious that certain things you're not supposed to do, like you're not supposed to sleep with your mother, your sister, your auntie, your cousins, your what do you call it, your brother. You're not supposed to go on animals. I say, you're not supposed to homosexual and all these things. And isn't and you see individuals changing their sex and all these things. I say, isn't these things supposed to be obvious that is wrong in your sight? And he say, for some persons, like they behind, they would be in the act of it or wherever it is, and then they would have to hear the Lord say, oh, don't do this. He says certain things supposed to be obvious, but man they pretend like, okay, they don't know that wasn't what the Lord say. He said it's not that it's not, it's they don't know that it's wrong. It's not that they don't know that it's wrong, that they lack wisdom, that okay, that is wrong. But and being with your fathers and all kind of thing like that. What does that mean? He gave me a revelation with that. He said, he said being with your fathers, right? He said it's like being with someone that is old enough to be your father. The Lord looked down and frowned on this also. You have to get the understanding of the word. He say it's not because they lack wisdom or they don't know that is wrong. He said because he have given man a conscience, right? They will feel, or he said how he's all around, his angels is all around, they will know certain things not to do, but man refuse or ignore the clearness that okay, this is wrong and this is right, or whatever. Man ignore that because they follow after their own desire. They like that. They don't seek the Lord desires, what they feel is right and what pleasures them. He said this is why when they were walking around in the wilderness place, and because they desire flesh, he said when they were they wanted their own desire, the desire with it to eat meat and wherever it is, and they didn't, because of their own desire, they died. And he said many are going to be like this. They are going to pretend like they don't know where God says there, and he said don't quarrel with these individuals. Which part in the Bible you see this? He said don't quarrel with them, because it's not that they lack that wisdom or they don't know it's wrong, but rather they choose to ignore it because that is what they like for themselves. They choose to ignore the clear facts that is in front of them. They choose to ignore the clear conscience that is telling them something is wrong, because something is wrong with their actions, because they want to live like that. The Lord had me cracking up, you all, when he showed me that last night. It was in the middle of the night, and the Lord just brought that word to me. Had me smiling. He showed me someone behind an animal, and he's saying, no, don't do that, right? And doing various kind of gross stuff, and he said, no, don't do that. And I said, Lord, do you have to tell them not to do it? And he said, oh, he wrote it there for them to know not to do it, because man follow after their own desire, right? Their own desire. Certain things supposed to be obvious. But I asked him, I said, Lord, you have to tell people don't go on animals. I said, Lord, you have to tell people don't go and sleep with their sister. You have to tell them don't sleep with their old father, or don't sleep with their wherever it is. You have to tell them that. Shouldn't certain things be obvious? And he say, yes, it should be obvious, but just in case it isn't, there is a lot of it in Leviticus, you guys. But for some, it's not because they lack the wisdom. For some, it's not because they lack the wisdom. Not something that what they are doing is wrong, but rather they choose to pretend that they don't know because they want to continue on. It feels